was when I was 4 months pregnant, and I was at home alone, and I was crawling around on the floor like a crackhead looking for little pieces of pot to fill a bowl so I could smoke, so I could stop everything that was going on up here. That sucked. I remember like thinking to myself, what am I doing? You are pregnant. You're going to have a baby. I need help. I need help now because this is pathetic. I smoked pot first time when I was 15. I'd always been really insecure about myself and not really, I never really felt like I fit in. I was bigger than everybody else growing up, and the first time that I smoked pot, it made me forget all of that. I forgot all of it, and I was surrounded by a bunch of people who I thought were my friends. Started popping pills, and a couple of years after I started smoking pot, I guess that was when my parents got divorced, and then my grandmother passed away. I smoked pot through the entire thing, did drugs through the entire thing. I don't recall a whole lot of it. My mom was kind of a recluse during that time, and I wasn't there. My sister wasn't there. The Kimbrow sisters were pretty well known in that crowd. So we inherited a bunch of money from my grandmother, and I decided that I wanted to move to Austin. And my main goal was to work at a place called Planet K, which is still to this day a head shop filled with a bunch of drug paraphernalia, bad stuff. Just bad stuff. I had a guy come in one time and stash crack in our incense. And undercover cops were after him. Just the pit. I was really good friends with this guy named Luke, and he had been taking Oxycontin. He'd been stealing it from his parents. He called me the morning that he died at like 5 in the morning and left a message on my cell phone. To see somebody that was, just so vibrant and full of life. He died because he was doing drugs and because he OD'd, and it didn't faze me. It did not faze me. I kept on, I kept using. I just kept feeling emptier and like almost like I've lost my ability to love. My parents were basically together because of my sister and I, and when they got divorced and when I became, the age of reason and able to understand what had been going on my whole childhood, that kind of sucked to know that, that my mom wasn't happy, my dad wasn't happy, and, it was because of us, basically. My mom was very involved in my life. She was very involved with my schooling and was always there to events and everything. So after I had Corbin, nothing about my inside had changed as far as the way that I felt inside. I just wanted my life to be more, to mean more, because honestly, and even up until like 6 months ago, this is a thought that I had when I was thinking about all of this, was how often I thought about death, about like when things got hard, like about how I just didn't want to live anymore, about how I just wanted to die. And I have a child, and it's like, that's no way to live. But like I said, whenever we went to church, and I never felt anything. I was just a body there. My mom said that she had gone, to a service at NewChurch, and I was like, I didn't really feel one particular thing, there's not one thing that was calling me or telling me to go, I just kind of went. I remember walking in the door and listening to, it was the Sunday that you guys played Cage the Elephant song. And I was like, man, that's a really good song. That's a song I listened to on the radio. I was like, that's bitchin'. And it was probably, dare I say, the first time that I had been in a church where I didn't feel, I don't know. I felt comfortable. I felt like I was home. But still, I still wasn't quite, I hadn't quite accepted the whole God thing yet, my sister had an experience, and, I wanted it, but I still, to say that God was real felt really awkward for me. A really good family friend of ours, named Debbie, who's a devout Christian, I've always respected, didn't always understand, but I always respected her, and I always thought it was really cool how she had such a deep connection with Jesus, and, and I don't know, I just always respected her. And She had told my mother a long time ago that that she thought I was very sensitive to the Holy Spirit because of the way that I reacted at her church service one time. When I left that church service, I went to a movie and I hit a pole in the parking lot. And I remember saying to my mom on the phone, I was like, I'm drunk on Jesus. And that was before that was a long time ago, but she said that. And when I heard those words that my mom, that Debbie had said, it was just kind of like, I had this warm feeling inside and like things just clicked in my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's been there the whole time. He has been here with me the entire time. And I have just been shutting him out. And so I'm so grateful to have a place that I can come where I don't feel like I have to not be myself. Like I can come, I can dress as I want, and I can be myself. I can be who I am, and I can come and I can worship God, and I can, I know he's real. I know he's real now. And, NewChurch kind of facilitated all of that for me. I'm Heather Elizabeth Kimbrow, and this is my journey.